Here is the 2024 Lexus ES 350 F Sport handling package in ultra white. What are you getting with the handling package opposed to the design? And would you rather option the 250 all-wheel drive because you're not going to be able to get an all-wheel drive when you get into the 350? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and the F Sport design or handling package on the exterior is going to get the same highlights. So gloss black elements is going to surround the enlarged grille with the L logos that is implemented in by LED headlights and daytime runnings with the signature L lights, and the lower curtain gets the gloss black elements with the grille pattern, front and rear parking sensors with the 360-degree reverse camera and bird's eye view. F Sport tuning and adaptive dampers is what you're getting when you get the handling package, opposed to just a dynamic style. Underneath the hood is going to house the most powerful variant of a 3.5 liter V6, producing 302 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You're getting over 80 pound-feet of torque more going to this variant. And when you're thinking Lexus, well, you're also thinking it needs to sip fuel. 22 mpgs for the city and 31 mpgs for the highway with the upgraded 19-inch wheels, multi-spoke gloss black F Sport badging. The side view mirror cap gets a touch of the gloss black, and the only thing I feel that they have neglected is on the window trim. It should have been all gloss black, especially against this ultra white, and maybe flare out the side sill a little bit more so, because if you go into the Camry TRD, you're going to get an aero kit. I kind of would like to see something like that with the F Sport. I understand Lexus is still trying to keep it composed, but when you're getting 2 seconds quicker in a 0 to 60 at 6.6 seconds and a top speed at 130 miles per hour, there's some things that's going underneath the hood with the suspension that's making this dynamically correct. Now, going back to that question at the beginning, should you just option the appearance package because you're still getting the V6 engine? Well, the performance that you're getting with the suspension, you'll see in the drive, it does handle a little bit more, so you'll still have a butter smooth suspension, and both will have the dual exhaust outlet, LED taillights, trunk lid spoiler. It looks more athletic. The only thing missing is all-wheel drive because you cannot option that when you go to the 350. Power liftgate going into 13.9 cubic feet of storage. You're going to have the bag holders in the front. Underneath the floor is going to get a spare tire with a pass-through for the rear bench to open up the cargo capacity to the ES. But we need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. New look trim seats, heated, ventilated 10-way power seat adjustment with memory for the driver. Headroom and leg room. Sports pedals because of the F Sport. The design will have the same interior. We get the satin aluminum, the 2-tier dashboard, 12.3 infotainment with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio, Wi-Fi hotspots with 4G capabilities. Put it into reverse, and we have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for everything around you, and bird's eye view. Going into the dual climate control settings here, actual buttons, which is a nice twist. 8-inch is going to be standard on the 250 all-wheel drive. Auto-dimming rear view mirror with a moon roof. Leather-wrapped steering wheel. This is from the F Sport multi-function. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist with the paddle shifts. The gauge cluster can go through an array of information for the driver, but what you like about these is you have Sports Plus, which will make it a lot more dynamic. Eco, and of course your normal. And you can go into custom, which you just go into the settings here to make it as sport derived as you like. Going into an area that you can put some cell phones, leather around the shifter, QI wireless charger, opens up as a 2-tier. So you have storage here, 2 USBs, a 12 volt, and the passenger, they can open it as well. It comes, I promise. There it is. Even though it's a driver-focused setup and everything is a little bit more tilted towards the driver, it still has the passenger in mind. The door panels and the dash configuring together, we have the upgraded Mark Livingston. And it's going to be soft to touch everywhere. You have a lot of different patterns going on with a lot of different schemes, one touch up and down for all your windows, and a medium-sized storage pocket with a little storage right here for some change. Headroom and leg room. Storage is going to be behind both of the front seats, air vents in the center, a 12 volt and 2 USB ports. Cup holders for the armrests, lifted up for later. The door is going to have the same materials that's found into the front. Kind of has a little bit of a retro vibe with a smaller storage pocket sliding into the center. The floor is not completely flat. You could put your feet up like this, but then for a long journey, your legs are just in the air. So I'd recommend putting it down. You'll still have a pretty decent amount of air space for the legs, sharing feet, butt, and shoulder space, but not a significant amount because it's a wider vehicle. As for headroom, it's actually not that bad for anyone over 6 foot. Because this is the F-Sport handling, we have F-Sport adaptive variable suspension for the front and the rear, and this actually weighs 90 pounds less than the 250 all-wheel drive, which also helps with that 0 to 60 being 2 seconds faster, not only getting 302 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque, but 80 pound-feet of torque more than that 4-cylinder variant. Now, you can option this with just a styling element, and you're not going to get the F-Sport Tune suspension. Is it a major difference? That's what we're going to find out right now, because I've reviewed the vehicle with it and without it, and today you're going to see it with it. And now we're going to see what that 302 horsepower looks like. It's quick. And now to see the dynamic handling package. Handles pretty good. It is a difference, so spending the couple grand to get it, I would say if you're already at the price, go ahead and do it. I could see some Lexus owners maybe frowning on it only because you're just typically thinking, I want that sport or I want the soft butter smooth suspension. You're still getting it with this, and you're getting upgraded 19-inch wheels, in which you would be getting the 19-inch wheels with the design. So for me, I would say it's kind of stupid not to pick the package because it's going to handle a little bit better. You'll be able to feel some of the dynamics a little bit more so. I mean, the vehicle is nearly 196 inches long, and when you're at 113 inches for a wheelbase, it's a long vehicle. It's not a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, so anything for a suspension tuning is going to help it feel a little bit more lively and more athletic. You get a nice little exhaust note that filters in. It's not going to be anything crazy like a Camry TRD with the catback exhaust, which I kind of would have liked to see that here because we are at that level with performance, and you actually get 1 horsepower more than you would in the Camry. It's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting with the pros, it's still sporty inside, but luxurious. Butter smooth. Changing the suspension doesn't really alter the drive too much on the day in and day out use, but it gives you a little bit more capabilities for performance because let's face it, you're in the mid 6-second range. You are wanting to get some performance when you're buying this variant. In brakes, you could see the GX had to run a red light, but we could stop. It doesn't have Brembo brakes, and you don't need it. This is lighter than the 250 all-wheel drive. Here we go. Any imperfections in the road, it soaks it up, stays quiet. It's wide in the interior, plenty of room for the back seat occupants and a large cargo capacity, which is everything you're wanting for a large sedan. Some other pros about it is you're getting this for under 60 grand. And when you're comparing it to BMW or Mercedes, you're going to be spending a lot more money to get similar traits. And I understand the speed or performance numbers are not quite to BMW spec, but when you're considering all the technology and luxury that you're getting in a butter smooth suspension, it has to start adding into some value. Going against comparable rivals like Acura or Infiniti, they don't have a variant that's going to be as long as this. So then that's why you would start going into the class of Mercedes and BMW, unless you want to check out Volvo, in which it's still going to be smaller in the back seat. Some cons about the vehicle is this QI wireless charger. The phone will slide around a bit, in which you'll keep hearing a ding, ding, ding noise. It starts driving you crazy. Some other cons, because of the price that it's at, I would have liked to see power seat or power cushion extensions, I should say, because when you're going from Toyota to Lexus, the price jump for this is going to be about $10,000 to $15,000. So give me a few more options instead of giving me the standard 10-way power seat adjustment that you would get with Toyota. But the biggest con about the ES is when you're getting all this performance, they will not give you all-wheel drive for the 350, and you're kind of wanting that because we also have the handling package. Turn radius at more or less a stop point. It's going to get about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. Now we're going to change it to normal. Can't hear the exhaust at all. Put it on eco. I would say it helps to keep it into sport mode, so it kind of takes the wind noise that comes in out, because today's a bit of a windy day, so you'll hear a little bit more so than normal. But for the most part, it is a quiet and comfortable ride. Lexus does a good job keeping it that way. It's longer, so the front overhang will be a little bit more so whenever you're taking some turns like I did on that U-turn more or less. But you still have over 5 inches of clearance, which when you're comparing it to the rivals, that's not going to be the case. So the everyday blend of a drive, getting luxury and some performance, I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Lexus Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2024 Lexus ES 350 F Sport handling package for our car review.